Hi, this is Bill from CJ Pony Parts. Today we're going to be installing an Ignitor Electronic Ignition conversion from Pertronix. Pertronix developed Ignitor over 30 years ago to replace the troublesome point system found in classic cars. Anybody who has a classic car has at one time or another had a points failure due to the fact that the points are a mechanical part and they're subject to wear and tear like any other part of your vehicle. The system is designed to be an easy drop-in module that anybody can install within an hour with basic handheld tools. Pertronix offers 3 different versions of Ignitor depending on the level of modification to your car and the amount of energy you're looking to produce. This is the original Ignitor system, produced by Pertronix for the last 30 years. With over millions on the road, it's proven to be a very reliable upgrade to your vehicle. The best part about this system is it installs in the distributor in the location of the stock points, require no external modifications, and gives you that stock look that people like. Pertronix recommends at the same time upgrading to a little hotter coil. The Pertronix makes the Flamethrower 1 designed for this particular system, which will produce 40,000 volts and give you proper current to your ignition for a reliable system. For higher performance applications, Pertronix offers the Ignitor II. Ignitor II is physically the same size as the Ignitor 1 and installs in the exact same fashion. The difference is it has a microprocessor built in to adjust the dwell, which will create more energy for higher RPM applications. This would be better for your mildly modified or high performance motor. At the same time, Pertronix offers the Flamethrower 2 coil as well, same design and physical shape as the Flamethrower 1, with increased voltage to work well with your Ignitor 2 ignition, again for high performance applications. The Ignitor 3 would be the highest performance system that Pertronix offers. Installs slightly differently than the Ignitor 1 and Ignitor 2 in that you have to remove the breaker plate from your distributor when installing it. It comes with a built-in rev limiter that allows you to adjust within plus or minus 50 RPM of your desired rev limit. It also produces the highest output of any system and is designed for high performance applications where maximum efficiency is necessary. To recap, the Pertronix Ignitor 1 is an excellent choice for your stock or mildly modified vehicle, providing roughly 50% more spark than your standard point system would. The Ignitor 2 will provide roughly 3 times the spark initial system, while also having a built-in dwell control to allow you to have smoother power at higher RPM. The ultimate performance is going to be the Ignitor 3, which will include a built-in rev control and give you approximately 5 times the spark of your ignition point system. Before we begin the installation, you want to open up your Ignitor packaging and make sure everything you need is included. They include clear instructions, hardware bag, solderless connect, plastic feeler gauge to set the gap, the magnet sleeve, and the Ignitor assembly itself. For this installation, you'll need a flat blade screwdriver, a wire stripper, a crimping tool, and an 8mm ratchet. We've installed our 289 engine on this engine stand to make it easier for you to view the actual installation itself. Unlike what the air cleaner might say, this is a stock 289 with a 4-barrel, which will be fine with the standard Ignitor ignition system. Like any other electrical installation, the first step is going to make sure you disconnect your battery. In this case, which is obviously not a problem since your engine is already in a stand, you can start by removing the air cleaner to make it easier to access the distributor cap. Okay, loosen the wing nut, remove the air cleaner, and put it aside. Once your air cleaner is out of the way, you want to remove the main wire that goes to the coil. Simply pull and twist. At that point, you're ready to remove your distributor out of the way to access the original point system in the car. There's 2 metal clips, one in the front, one in the back. Once both clips are down, you can remove the distributor cap and place it out of the way so you can access the original point system. Once you get to this point, you'll also want to remove your rotor and set it aside for later. Next step in the process is to remove the initial points and condenser from the car. They're held in place by 3 flathead screws. The easiest to start with the condenser since that has a ground that will stay in the car. You want to hang on to the screws because you will need them for later. After removing the screw for the condenser, now we can remove the screws that hold the points in place. Once you've unscrewed your condenser and your points, you can lift them up to move them out of the way, and then trace the ground wire over to your original coil. You'll want to remove the ground wire, and there's a grommet that you'll have to fish through to the side of your distributor. Push lightly, and it usually come right through. Fish your wire through, put the ground wire through the edge of the distributor, and put your points aside. Once you've moved your points and condenser out of the way, you want to reground the ground strap for your distributor. The hardware is very small, so you want to be careful to make sure you get it right in place. Sometimes it's easier to use the ground wire to hold the screw to put it down into where it goes. Screw it in place and make sure it's nice and tight. Next step is to install the Ignitor assembly on your distributor. First thing you're going to do is fish the positive and negative wires through the side of the distributor where you remove the ground from the point system. Pull these through and pull them over to where the coil will be, where you'll connect them later. There's a grommet with the system that you're going to push through. until it locks roughly in place where you want it. The wires can slide through the grommet, so don't worry about having enough slack just yet. Make sure you have enough that you can pull through without going too far through. And then you're going to set the igniter over the original holes for your points. The rear mounting hole for the initial point system is used as a pivot point to mount the igniter in here. I'm going to slide it down to here, pop into place. And then you twist it, then you'll put the other pole right over the front mounting point and grab your hardware to mount it. Okay, using the screw you removed, the first step to remove the points, we're going to remount our igniter system. Screw in place. You don't want to tighten it all the way because you still need to adjust the gap. Just tighten enough that it's not going to move out of space. Next step, you want to grab the magnet sleeve that's included with the kit, slide it over the center distributor. You'll turn it until it slides down in place. It'll go down equal to the height of your ignition. Now you want to grab the provided 30,000 feeler gauge and stick that between your ignition system and the magnet sleeve that you installed. You want to turn the igniter until it is touching the sleeve, pushing it up against the magnet, at which point you'll tighten down your front screw, setting the correct gap. This time you're going to install your original cap and rotor back in the car. Due to the increased spark of the igniter, you want to make sure your cap and rotor are in good condition. Slide the rotor back over the distributor shaft, bring your cap back up front, make sure the cap is seated properly, grab the metal pins, and latch it into place. We removed the negative feed earlier when we first removed the distributor. Now we want to remove the positive lead from our coil. We're going to take both wires that came out of the Pertronix igniter and run them over to the coil. Remove the screws that are on the studs. The negative wire on the black side. Then we're going to put the positive lead from the igniter to the positive side of our coil. The next step, we need to put a new terminal on our factory wire to be able to connect it to the Pertronix coil. You want to cut the wire, grab a wire stripper, approximately 1/4 of an inch of exposed wire. Pertronix includes solderless connectors. I'll put that into your crimping tool. And grab our exposed wire, put it into the solderless terminal, and crimp tight. That positive terminal will now go on to the positive lead of our coil. We'll put the retaining nut back on. At this point, you want to grab your 8mm and lightly tighten both sides. Once you properly tighten the coil wires, you grab your initial coil wire to your distributor, reconnect it to your coil, make sure it's got a tight fit, double check your cap, and your installation is finished. Now you're finished installation, you want to make sure that all your wires are secured out of the way so nothing has any kind of clearance problems. This time you can reconnect your battery, start the car, and set your timing as normal. Once you're done that, you're ready to take your car for a test drive. The installation should take no more than half an hour, even with basic hand tools, so you'll be back on the road in no time.